Hey you, yeah you who clicked on this video. Thanks for giving our channel a shot. And if you will, please do us the honor of watching the video all the way through. Appreciate it. Now onto the video. So House of the Dragon episode 6, The Princess and the Queen. So this is an interesting episode. We open with Rhaenyra giving birth to a boy, her third by this count, and Alicent requesting the child be brought directly to her. Rhaenyra doesn't seem to think that this is a good idea, so she, is trying to put on her dress, regardless of the idea that she has not given or expelled the afterbirth. So that's weird, but she ends up expelling it while putting on her dress. That's how much of as much as she's trying to give up to Alicent. So we see that Serlena joins her and is taking the newborn to Alicent, and there's just a lot going on. They're having a conversation, and apparently this isn't the first time that Alicent has requested to see one of Rhaenyra's newborn children. We already know why, because she knows that Rhaenyra cannot be trusted to fulfill her duties and is not really producing legitimate heirs, because she's obviously, been known to screw around on the side before. Obviously, this is not with Sir Criston, but in actuality, this would be with a new suitor, Sir Harwin Strong, Lord Strong's son, the Hand of the King's son. So Alicent tells Rhaenyra that she should be resting. King Viserys is pleased that he has another grandson. He is now missing an arm due to his ailments. King does not look good. Like, he doesn't look good at all. So when asked about the child's name, Laenor says that the baby's name shall be Joffrey, after his dead lover, obviously, which Sir Criston Cole murdered at their wedding ceremony. Which is a surprise to everyone, including Rhaenyra, because there was no input given onto the boy's name. So Sir Harwin, commander of the Gold Cloaks, the City Watch, currently wishes to hold the baby, obviously because it's his. And we see that the boys go to the dragon pits with Sir Laenor and Aegon and Aemond. That would be Viserys' two sons. And at first, it kind of seems as though the oldest son, Jacaerys, does not have control of the dragons, but I think that this is just something that they learn to do. He does have Targaryen blood, even if it is mixed with the strong. So having any type of lineage to Old Valyria should be enough to allow him to basically be a dragon rider. Meanwhile, Prince Aemond, Aegon's brother, is teased by the other boys by them giving him what they call a dragon, which is actually a pig with fake wings. And so, nobody's too pleased about this. Alicent and her daughter sit as she complains, or as the youngest son, Aemond, complains to her about what has happened. And Alicent then in turn goes to complain to the king and tells her that, he tells her that basically nature works in mysterious ways and she shouldn't really be worried about the lineage of Rhaenyra's children, to which Alicent is very indignant because she knows that none of these are Sir Laenor's children and in fact illegitimate. So she's basically challenging the lineage of Rhaenyra's kids again. Sir Criston, who is now serving Alicent, hears her complain about Rhaenyra, and he is in turn butthurt about the whole thing, even so far as to call you a "see you next Tuesday." So then we get a weird scene of Aegon literally standing in the window of the Red Keep, basically pleasuring himself out the window. I don't know what that's about. And Alicent is trying to explain to him that if Rhaenyra's illegitimate sons, or one of the sons, takes the throne after Rhaenyra, that his very life will be in question as soon as Rhaenyra takes the throne, because she'll want to basically destroy any challenge to her children's succession of the throne. So then we go to Daemon, actually. Daemon is in Pentos currently, and he and Laena, his wife, are riding alongside each other, with their respective dragons. And it's kind of cool looking. I mean, it really is. So the Prince Regios of Pentos wants an alliance against the Triarchy, and essentially he informs Daemon that the Dornish Lord is now making a alliance with the Triarchy, and so in order to protect the realm, not only of Pentos but of Westeros as well, an alliance should be made, considering that Daemon and Laena have dragons. Daemon and Laena discuss the possible alliance. Laena is not down with this at all. She wants her kids to be raised in Driftmark. She wants to go back to Driftmark, and she wants to die a dragon rider's death. And so this is not really in the plans for what Daemon wants to do, which is basically to amass more power. So then we go back to King's Landing. So Kristen is teaching the boys sword work. He seems to be favoring Alicent's children over Rhaenyra's for obvious reasons. And then as a result of this, Sir Harwin Strong and he get into a disagreement about how Sir Criston is teaching the boys sword work. This leads to Aegon and Jacaerys having a sparring match between each other, in which Sir Criston basically eggs on Aegon to go overboard, at which case he is pulled off by Sir Harwin. And once that happens, then Sir Criston basically just leaves it all out there and tells Sir Harwin that, he knows that he is the daddy to Rhaenyra's children. Sir Harwin loses it in a fit of rage and starts striking Sir Criston, which is obviously bad for him because the king is sitting there, and so is the hand of the king, Sir Harwin's father. So this is definitely a dishonorable move and very emotional on Sir Harwin's part. So then we get, after the fight, Sir Harwin is questioning his son about the idea that those children are his, and that his, continued dalliances with Rhaenyra cannot be tolerated and are dishonorable. So we see where this leads. So Rhaenyra goes back to her chambers. Laenor strolls in drunk with his new lover and tells of another war with the Triarchy. She talks about the son's parentage and that she can't let Laenor leave just to go to war, and she commands him as princess to stay. Then we go back to Laena and Daemon, and their daughter is warming a dragon egg, which she really hopes will hatch. And, Laena has to tell her that not all of them hatch. And she is just worried because she basically feels like her father is ignoring her. So Laena tries to, take away her concern, but we see what happens. Daemon, who is admiring Laena, who is with child currently, talks about a letter. So Laena's talking about a letter that Laenor wrote her, and she says that she misses her brother. And, she knows that Daemon was always destined for more, and that they were both better than where they are now. So then we go to a meeting of the Small Council about a dispute between the Tullys and the Blackwoods. They also talk about the Triarchy's return and the new threat that they pose. And Rhaenyra seems to think that a more hands-on approach would be the better approach to avoid an all-out war. Rhaenyra then apologizes to Alicent and proposes a marriage between Jacaerys, her son, and Alicent's daughter, so that they can share the throne. And then she also offers her a dragon egg for little Aemond. Yeah, that's his name, Aemond. And so, obviously this is a play to keep her children's lineage out of everybody's mouth, but Alicent is a little too smart for this. So she's, she graciously says that she'll think about it, which is basically a big ass no. And as they're leaving the Small Council, Viserys and Alicent have a discussion about it, and she basically is telling Viserys that it'll be a cold day in hell before one of her natural-born sons natural born children is married to a bastard of Rhaenyra's. So Lord Strong then comes to the king and wishes to resign his post because of the loss of honor due to his son and Rhaenyra's relationship. But he can't tell the king that, so rather he just says that, hey, I got some things going on in my house. Being that he won't discuss the direct nature of what's going on, Viserys does not take his resignation. So then Lord Strong says, well, I need to take my son back to Harrenhal, settle some affairs, and then I'll be right back. So the king says that's cool. Alicent obviously isn't pleased with the current events. She goes to talk to Larys Strong, Lord Strong's other son, the cripple from episode 5. And they talk about the attempt at resignation. So Larys takes things in his own hands and goes to the dungeon to solicit the help of some prisoners sentenced to death and removes their tongues. For what purpose, we don't know just yet. Then we go to Laena giving birth. The doctor says to Daemon that the baby won't come and suggests removing the child by force, which is really a callback to episode 1, where we saw Viserys' wife having the same issue. So he obviously doesn't know what to do, but Laena decides in her pain and with everything going on that she's going to have her dragon basically immolate her and give her a proper death fitting of one with Valyrian blood. Daemon tries to stop her to no avail. Even though the dragon does not wish to set his master ablaze, he cannot disobey her order and he kills her. So then we have Sir Harwin saying his goodbyes to his bastard children, kisses Joffrey goodbye, and as he's leaving, Jacaerys asks his mother Rhaenyra whether or not Sir Harwin is in fact his father, and if he is in fact a bastard. Rhaenyra tries to hand-wave that question away. Then Rhaenyra asks Laenor to leave with her and go back to Dragonstone with his new lover in tow to escape Alicent's, just vitriolic ire. There's an ambush waiting at Harrenhal for Lord Strong. The prisoners that his son cut the tongues from are apparently about to set a fire at Harrenhal, and this leads us to believe that the giant, that Harrenhal being basically a heat, this is just an appetizer for when it really goes up in flames. So this is pretty much the end of the episode. I'm really interested to see where this goes. As far as Rhaenyra is concerned, the actress that is now playing Rhaenyra, she's okay. I thought that I was really gonna dislike her, but she does an admirable job, as does the actress that is playing an older Alicent. They both do really well in this. The actor that's playing Laenor Velaryon, he's pretty good too. I'd have to say that. I'm looking forward to the next episode, but the only problem that I'm seeing with the show is we have all the political intrigue, but there's no larger narrative or threat tying us to these characters other than the idea of succession. Hopefully that changes with the Triarchy and we get something of real importance, like some sort of conflict that isn't just people gossiping and talking shit in castles. So we'll see what happens in the next few episodes, but this is definitely a more dialogue-heavy episode than the previous episodes. There's very little action aside from a few fights here and there. So we'll see how this goes. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section, and we'll see you on the next one. 8-Bit Heroes out. Peace.
If you'd like to get a shout out on the channel, then hit that like button, maybe share it with a couple of friends, and do us the biggest honor of all, and subscribe to the channel so you can join the 8-Bit Heroes family. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when our new videos come out.